Hey, what is going on, you guys? It is Mr. No Sleep here from Old School RuneScape, and welcome to a brand new video for you all today. Today I bring you the first day of Bounty Hunter. Now this is from my perspective, and my goal really for this one was just to make as much money as possible and see all the new changes with this update. I got my first fight pretty early on. This actually wasn't a target, but I was risking full DH against the guy who was risking virtually nothing, and he did kill me in a matter of seconds. So not off to the greatest start, but don't worry, it gets even better. Here we are with a different setup. I wanted to try Dragon Crossbow to AGS, and this was actually a really cool setup. Although the risk was over 2 mil, we did get a very nice kill with that 75. Gotta love that LMS special effect with that Armadyl Godsword spec. Decent loot, 638k. Now you do get points anytime you kill someone, and you also get points for trading in the emblems that you can receive by upgrading them as you kill your targets. Unfortunately, the emblem streak ended pretty early on for me by a VLS spec this time. That's right, Vesta's longsword is back and it's stronger than ever. Got stacked pretty hard there by that Void Waker, and as you can imagine, I am showing every death and every kill in chronological order. This is literally my experience from the first day of Bounty Hunter, so sorry about all the deaths, you know, not the best these days. But hey, with the luck of the Adamant Kite Shield G that I decided to use as a shield slot, I did get a nice PK from this person, which they were risking Avernix, so that's a nice 2 mil there. And now it's story time. So right now I'm in the process of specking out my target, who was actually in the middle of a fight himself, but I was actually encountering getting PJ'd all day today, so I didn't really see it as a, big problem to interrupt his fight. I didn't kill him with the 2 specs I used, but I did carry on with the fight, and we did actually have a double death. But ladies and gentlemen, what's missing in that inventory there? Well, if you guessed Void Waker, you would be correct. Unfortunately, I forgot to protect item during this fight. Some say it might be karma for me interrupting his fight, but honestly, I just forgot to protect item. That's how this happened, and it's funny because I didn't even realize I lost it until about 2 minutes later. I got back to the bank with his loot in my inventory and just the fire cape, and finally it kind of came to me like, wait a minute, where's my Void Waker? And I went in the bank, and sure enough, it wasn't there. So we started off this morning with losing close to 200 mil. First and hopefully the only time that I'll ever lose that Void Waker. Luckily, I did have a lot of items that I didn't really need, such as full 3rd age magic, as well as 100,000 cannonballs, so I did sell that and I bought it back. So hopefully it'll stay in the bank and we won't have to go through that ever again. A nice 72 for the KO. I don't know, I used to like fighting Voiders, but now I'm not so sure. But either way, as you can see, Bounty Hunter is very crowded, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot going on here, whether your combat level is 126, or even if you're a pure, there is going to be plenty of fights for you. So make sure to check out Bounty Hunter. Some people like it, some people hate it. I've seen a couple different opinions so far, but I really do enjoy it myself. I mean, it's really good for vengeance PKing. As you can see with that beautiful 57 KO there, we did get a 4.6 mil key from this guy, and I was only risking about 1.3 mil. So sometimes you're going to be in a situation where, even if you die a few times, you'll be able to make that back on just one good PK. Unfortunately, I did die to a ranged Voider from a ballista, so that was kind of new. I don't fight them too often. But yeah, you'll see a lot of deaths throughout this video, kind of just warming up here, if you want to call it that. And if you guys enjoy this, it's a short little montage for you today, but if the views are good and if you guys like what you see, I will happily spend the next week here and hopefully end on a profit rather than a loss, but it's up to you guys. You got to let me know what you think about this update. I personally was in the middle of some PVMing projects, so we'll see what happens, whether I continue to do Bounty Hunter or just take a little bit of a break to finish up some PVMing challenges and projects that I have going right now. We'll see, but hope you guys have been enjoying this update. It's certainly not like it was in 2008 with the whole penalty and the just everything, but it's still good. It is different than the wilderness. Here we have another instance of someone risking a lot more than I was, and luckily they had rune legs, so pretty easy to hit through, and we did get a nice spec on the Void Waker there, and the loot key ended up being close to 5 mil, so that's awesome. Nice Serpentine Helm coming in there. Moving on, another fight with Void Waker versus Void Waker, or Guthans, or no, Varrock versus DH, whatever you want to call it, but we did get a nice kill there. It was a very quick fight, good spec, good timing, and to my surprise, he had full DH with him too, so that was a nice 5.4 mil. So you can definitely tell, if you're good at PKing and you don't die as much as me, these PKs are huge at this combat level. This could be definitely one of the best money-making methods in the game, if you're like Oda Block, or if, you're really good at clicks and whatnot. Got a nice PK there, which I think got me a tier 4 emblem, and I did trade it in for 11 bounty hunter points, making my point total go up to 31. Seeing as it's in the hundreds for armor pieces or weapons that you can upgrade with, I think it'll be a very long time if I ever get an upgrade like Vesta's Longsword or Statius Warhammer. But I mean, it's just the first day, and they could update some things, maybe make it lower point valued, or just in general, the more time you spend here, the more points you're going to gain. So we'll see in the future how that pans out. But yeah, here's just a little death montage here. I died so much today, got insulted even more, and it was a rough day. This guy was pretty cool though. This was a death match. We might as well. I mean, we both were so close to killing each other, and I did end up on the upside here, so that was really nice. I think he only had an anti-venom left. Let's see how much this loot key is. Always forget to pick up that emblem. Nice over 500k from that one. Here's an example of someone I just hate fighting. They always kill me. That MSB and AGS combo is deadly, and for some reason I can't do it as well. But either way, I do want to say that I might do a loot from 10 hours of looting here, because there are more food pieces, dragon knives, potions, things that you wouldn't even think would be on the ground are all scattered around Bounty Hunter. So good odds of me doing that video soon. I just have to make sure I don't get killed while doing it, so I might do it on a different account. I'm not sure yet, but stay tuned for that. If you want to see it, make sure to hit that like button, and I'll definitely get it done pretty soon. I went through a couple different special attack weapons today: Claws, HES, Void Waker, and I would probably go with HES as my main weapon, just because if I'm PKing with a Dragon Scimitar, then I can always bring out that HES as a nice whack weapon instead of just a spec weapon. And we have another death coming in. According to this guy, I am a boring guy. It's the first ever time I've been called a boring guy before, but I'm sure that's not the first time he's been called a prick, so yeah. Oh, I really gotta stop insulting people back. You know, that's just not who I am, but I tell you, the wilderness, the PvP, it brings out the worst in people sometimes, especially when you're down 200 mil for the day, you know? Not the greatest of days for me personally. I just realized I died to an Iron Man. But you know, the good thing about life is there's always tomorrow, so I'm sure it'll be better, and I look forward to, you know, exploring more of Bounty Hunter. Hopefully get some good PKs in the future for you guys. Maybe try some weird setups or some weird combinations. There are such great content creators in the PvP category, like Framed, you know, Torvesta, of course, Reese, and so many more that's worth mentioning, but I just can't think of their names right now. And I'm sure they're going to be uploading some incredible BH-related videos. So as a fellow content creator, I might try and look at what other people are doing with this update, and maybe try to capitalize on that, and hopefully try out a new setup that's, you know, if I die, I won't lose too much, and if I PK, maybe I can get some smites or something. I don't know. There's definitely a lot of potential with this update, and I don't want to sound too negative about just having a bad day here, so please don't take that to heart. But I do want to say I'm really glad that the wilderness is being looked at again, and this update definitely brought a lot of people back. I ran into a guy today that was actually featured on Chris Archie Prods multiple times in 2011. His name is True Badass, and I asked him if he was the real one, and he said yeah, and I kind of fanboyed for a moment there. So it's really cool to see BH so active. But with that last death, we are going to conclude today. I PK'd about 24 mil from people in Bounty Hunter today. I lost around 200 mil from the Void Waker, as well as all my other deaths combined. And although today might have been bad for my main account, on the Iron Man I did receive the Pet Kraken. So yeah, it wasn't too bad after all. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching the video today. I will see you tomorrow with loot from 10 hours of PKing at Moss Giants. It's definitely a very strange location, but I have a great video for you all, and I hope you guys watch it. So until next time, a big thank you to the YouTube channel members, with a special shout out to Angelzblood and Matthew Stivers. Mr. No Sleep, out.